Hello, and welcome to the Tavern Chat podcast. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, the main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog. How are you all? Last night, I did a live interview with Darcy Perry on our Discord server. Went for about an hour. I've got to edit it. And when I say edit it really just means trim the front, trim the back, and then find a place to cut in the fucking middle because an hour's long for the Tavern Chat podcast. So I'd like to, at the very least, make it two 30-minute or so episodes. I got to cut that down. So maybe, barring any extraordinary news in the hobby, maybe it'll be the next 2 days that we'll be looking at that. In the meantime, today is a Tuesday, and Tuesday means Kickstarter or crowdfunding or whatever. So we're going to go over a couple of interesting, in my mind, most of them worthy of backing. Most of them I backed. Okay, let's be realistic. So let's delve into the first. The first is going to be Dungeons of Doom 5, Law versus Chaos from Star Hat Miniatures. Star Hat Miniatures is Darcy Perry. He's the Kiwi that does some awesome minis. What can I say about Darcy? He's a great person to interview, and he has great knowledge of the hobby. But he's really passionate about what he does. He's passionate about the art that he does. And the art that he does is basically 3D sculpting or 3D modeling. And that's how you get the minis. Now, I found it interesting that this time around, the casting is going to be done pretty much internationally. I believe that he has somebody in the UK that's going to do casting, so lowers the shipping cost for those in Europe, and he has somebody casting in the US, I think in Ohio or something like that. So again, shipping costs should be lowered, in this case within the US, which I think is pretty damn cool. And of course, Darcy does good stuff. He does good work. He's got 9 days left in it. I'm not going to tell you what the good pledge level is, although I think that you got to go in. I'm going to say probably for 79. It's 119 New Zealand dollars. And that gets you Chaos and Law and a few others. So that's what we'll say with that. Now, our Indiegogo, the city that took blood, a fantasy adventure. I've mentioned this one before. It's a Frog God Games Indiegogo. It is funded. It's got 264 backers. Now, this is really, for those of you that always say, yeah, Frog God does great stuff. The prices are outrageous because Bill Webb uses textbook, literally print textbooks to print the hardcovers for Frog God Games. It's not inexpensive. It's an expensive process. But this allows you to get a softcover in print and PDF for $13 plus shipping. The adventure is by none other than Steve Winter. Yes, Swords and Wizardry and 5e versions of the adventure are available. I will be grabbing the Swords and Wizardry version myself. Yes, I am associated with Frog God Games. If you look on their website, you will see me listed as convention coordinator. I still haven't figured out what my responsibilities are, but there must be something besides, working the booth and running some games at conventions, which apparently is what I do. So maybe the convention coordinator is accurate. Moving on. We have dungeon challenge cards for use with any fantasy RPG. So if you're playing GURPS Dungeon Fantasy, if you are playing Swords and Wizardry, if you're going to be playing the Fantasy Trip, which we'll mention shortly again, these cards are perfect for it. There are 3 days left to go. It is funded with over $6,200. But more importantly, the where am I? The pledge level. You're basically got a choice. You can pledge for $4 and just get the PDF. And I guess if you're overseas, maybe that is an option for you. And $4 is a steal. But $15 gets you a single deck of 24 hex-shaped dungeon challenge cards with instructions. Shipped free anywhere within the United States. So, if you're outside the United States, there ain't no shipping for you. I'm sorry. But if you're within the States, it ships free for $15. If you're outside the States, you can get the PDF. That's been a popular option. And it's only $4. Now, who is Phil Reed? Phil Reed, he is basically the number 2 man in Steve Jackson games. He is the, I don't want to say power behind the throne, but he is the one that does a lot of the day-to-day running of Steve Jackson games. He's been in the hobby for ages, and he knows his stuff. Moving on, I mentioned it just now, so I guess I should mention it again. The Fantasy Trip. The Fantasy Trip has hit $238,000 in funding. It's got 3 days to go. It's got over 2,600 backers. Holy shit. All right. Now, there is a potential to add kind of like a nostalgic reprint of the Fantasy Trip rules, which are already obviously part of this Kickstarter. That's what it is. But if you remember the mini games that Steve Jackson Games used to put out, Ogre, GEV, and little plastic boxes that would snap closed. Well, if they hit 300,000, they will produce those. They will include it in the I Want It All pledge level of $110. Now, what does the $110 level include? Which is what I'm currently at. God help me. It includes the Fantasy Trip Legacy Edition PDF, the Legacy Edition box, which includes Melee and Wizard boxes. It includes In the Labyrinth. It includes Tokenized Lair. It includes playmats. It includes character reference sheets. It includes a lot of stuff. So I'm in it for that. Listen, I've never played a Fantasy Trip. I remember looking at it at the Complete Strategist when I first came into this hobby and reading about it, and the Fantasy Gamer magazine and Gamer Mag, and I always wanted it. And now here I am at 51, and woohoo, I will have it. Don't know how much play it will get from me, but the fact that Steve Jackson Games is opening the setting that's attached to this property to third-party publishers, well, royalty free, but you can be selling through their store. So don't worry, Steve Jackson will get its cut. But the fact that they're opening up a setting for third-party publishers to play in, that I think is awesome. I think that the Fantasy Trip will get a lot of support, and it's good to see. Moving on. If you haven't noticed, that Zweihander won gold at the Ennies, you must have your head in the sand. Zweihander is pretty much an open source version of Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 1 and 2 without the setting attached to it. It is extremely popular. It is probably platinum on RPG Now. So, I have I can't even pronounce this right. Is it GAUCHE? The Parine deck. See, I know what it is. I just can't pronounce the damn name of it. Yeah, best game product of the year for Zweihander. So this supplement is going to add 68 brand new professions. You can build fantastic machines. I'm assuming that's a little bit steampunkish like, it sounds like to me. Vehicle-based combat into encounters. Yeah, that definitely sounds steelpunkish. Rules for building your own unique creatures and NPCs on the fly. New magic. Should be interesting. If you've already got these one-handed rules and you're playing with them, this is a no-brainer type of pickup. Last, possibly least, listen, if I had $1 million, as the song goes, if I had $1 million, I'd buy precision milled metal 60-sided D20 and full set of RPG dice. Jesus. All right. Yes. These are solid milled aluminum, hard, anodized, laser marked. One individual die. Now remember, they're all 60-sided, but they are numbered differently. So the D4 is numbered 1 through 4 15 times. The D6 is numbered 1 through 6 10 times, and so on, and so on, and so on. So it can replicate your D4, your D6, your D8, your D10, your D100. Well, your D100 for the set you need to roll 100, the D12 and the D20. So yes, you can, if you so desired, have a complete set of these fucking dice for the low price, because the early bird pricing is done. If you wanted a full set of 7 dice, each with 60 faces, precisely milled with solid aircraft grade aluminum, hard anodized and laser etched, about 1.2 pounds of aluminum dice awesomeness. So if you like to pack light for cons, obviously these dice are not going to go with you. Complete with a premium zippered carrying case and with a high density foam interior. Yada, 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 yada. Guess how much, folks? For you, $249. An individual die, $49. The individual die complete comes complete with a premium faux suede drawstring pouch and a sturdy box. Yeah. I like my dice. I'm I'm close to a dice fanatic. Yeah. No fucking way. All right. No fuck. $249 for a set of 7 dice, 60-sided dice, which means they'll never fucking stop rolling. Yes, they thankfully are. If the D4, the 4 is highlighted. The D20 is highlighted. Well, D20 is going to be highlighted, but it's only going to be highlighted 3 times on a 60-sided die. So no, it will not be easy for me to find which fucking die they are, because they all look exactly the fucking same. So no. Suggested back air level is 0. Now it is funded. 248 backers. So the average backer is dropping $100 on this. Yeah. I can't, man. I think I said enough. All right, folks. Again, as always, thank you. Thank you for listening. If you have access to iTunes and you would be kind enough to leave us a review, that would be awesome. I really appreciate it. If you like what you're listening to, if you like what you hear, you can back us on Patreon, or you can back this podcast directly through the Anchor app. It all helps. Believe me. I love my wife dearly. I don't want her getting to the point where she goes, "You've been retired for too long. You should be going back to work." No, this is my job. Or I'd like it to be my job. Please make it my job. God bless. Be safe. Thank you. Roll those dice well, and I will see you all tomorrow.